good Tuesday morning, TSC family? Cold, 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 right? Man. Look at all the snow on the ground that's being picked up here by satellite. Look at that. I say cold and freezing rain both. Snow and freezing rain both, yeah. Seen on satellite. Amazing. Amazing view from satellite. Alright, we're going to start with the verse of the day first, and it comes from Psalms 143:10. It says, "Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your good spirit lead me on level ground." That is Psalms 143:10. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. That's Psalms 143:10. All right, let's get going here. Y'all, look how cold it was this morning at the 7 a.m. temperature. Ouch, man. I mean, down here in Florida, 30. We were in. I think my temperature gauge hit around 31 degrees. I think was the coldest it got. Let me see here quickly. Here, I could tell you guys. What was my coldest temperature here last night? The low was 33.6, what it got here at my house last night. With the wind chill down to 30 is what it was. Cold, yes. Indiana, 11. No chance for this stuff to melt, y'all. Even today, I was looking at the temperatures here right now currently. Indiana, you're 13 to 19 degrees there. I mean, no chance for things to melt. Across northern parts of Mississippi, where all that freezing rain is hit really hard, it's 25 degrees. Again, we do have some sunshine out there, and things will heat up where the sun hits it, okay? But the air temperature still is below freezing. So you're not going to get a lot of, there's not going to be a lot of melting. It's just not going to happen. And that is, that's really crazy to think, isn't it? It really is. To think that this stuff is going to stick on the ground that long. And there is, honestly, y'all, there's not a lot of insight out there as to how long this is going to stick around. It looks like it's going to stick around forever. James said it was 18 degrees for his low there in Texas down here. Looks like you're warmed up to about 34 right now in the San Antonio area. 32 there in Austin area, looks like right now. Fort Worth, you're about 32 degrees. So you're right at that freezing. So things may start melting there across Texas where the freezing rain hit and some snow. But man, that slot right through here though, through the Shreveport area, and it went right in this direction, guys, is where that freezing rain hit. Nashville area, it just still, well, I didn't look at the power outages. Still very high there. Let's look at that real quickly here. Tennessee still has the highest amount of. Let me hit the interactive one. That makes it easier. Nashville area has 177,000. Listen to that. 177,000. Is that right? That can't be for the county. Nashville. Is it? It is. The Nashville area, Davidson County, has 124,000 with no electricity. That is basically almost 30% of the population that lives in Nashville region there has no power. Has no power. And that's not even the worst, y'all. The worst gets down here in across northern parts of Mississippi here. I mean, these areas just got annihilated. And these are not large counties like the city of Nashville is. So, give an example. Lafayette, Mississippi. Out of 26,000, there's 18,000 no with no. Now that's not that is not people. That's homes and businesses. So multiply that by maybe 3. You get the idea then. Man, there is nearly 50,000 people with no electricity there in Lafayette, Mississippi. Y'all, that's devastating. That's just devastating. Holmes, Mississippi. It's almost 100%. Almost 100% there, no electricity. How long is this going to go? Y'all, I told you guys it's going to be several days, and in some cases it might be several weeks. That is what freezing rain does. Snow does not give us these things. Freezing rain is the most, it's the most vicious thing we could ever have is freezing rain. And man, I just knew what was going to happen. And there's that slough. You can see that freezing rain where it all happened at. It's not snow that causes. It's the freezing rain and what wind was associated with it. It's just crippling. And this was truly a crippling freezing rain event. I don't know what the highest totals of freezing rain ended up being. Did anybody see what the totals were? I don't think there's any doubt in some cases, from what I could tell on the trees, it looked like it is at least 1.5 inches in some cases that I seen on some of the tree limbs. It looked like around 1.5 inches was the most I seen. It may have been higher than that in places, but my gosh, 1.5 inches, things don't survive. The power lines, it doesn't even need a tree to come down across the power lines. That much weight alone, it doesn't survive. It falls down just from the pure weight of it, and that's the danger of freezing rain. It really is, and you can see what the ramifications of this is. It's gonna be a rough ride here for many people, and they're how many has no power right now? 50. It was up to 1 million, and now it's down to a little bit over 500,000 homes and businesses with no power right now, and it was close to 1 million. So these power companies, and be grateful to those linemen out there. What can you imagine the conditions they're working in right now? You talk about some tough boys and ladies. If there's any ladies out there, these are some tough people to be out there fighting that cold way they are, and still out there doing what they're doing. Amazing what they do for this country and for you. Absolutely amazing stuff. All right, let's go forward here. So the HR model over the next 48 hours, if you look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow morning, does it improve too much? Y'all, it actually, matter of fact, it almost gets worse. Look at that. Look at Indiana. Minus 10 degrees. That's not the wind chill. That is real temperature now. Minus 10 degrees in southern Indiana with the wind chill of minus 24 tomorrow morning. Brutal. Just absolutely brutal. Kentucky, you're negative almost the entire state. Down in Florida, 25-degree wind chill tomorrow morning. 25 with a real temperature of 30. Hard freeze in this area here for tomorrow. Hard freeze. And you know what the crazy thing is? This may not be the coldest we're going to see over the next 7 to 10 days. It might get even worse before it's all said and done. Go to the central region for tomorrow morning. South Central here, so you can see this down here. You can see what your temperature forecast is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And then we go to Thursday morning at 7 a.m. I don't think, man, might be able to get there. It does. There it is right there. There's Thursday morning at 7 a.m. You see what the temperature forecast is there. Then you go over to the east, southeast region. Again, negative temperatures in Indiana across Ohio. Down there in Tampa Bay, real temperature, 30 degrees Tampa, with a wind chill of 24. Jeez, oh peaks, 24. We down here we're freezing. We're totally freezing compared to what we're used to down here. That is so far below normal. It is crazy, guys. It is beyond crazy how far below normal this is. If you look at the European model, and if I put up below normal temperature forecast, put the anomaly up here. I'm going to put up the wind chill anomaly. Okay? Watch this. Hold on here. Okay, watch this now. Look at the anomaly here for us for tomorrow morning. Let me get to that time frame. There it is, right there. Let me get the anomaly up here. Look up here in Indiana. When you get that far in that deeper purple there, that is approaching 30 degrees below normal compared to what normally is. I got 37 degrees below normal in Evansville, Indiana. Down there in Texas, you're 15, 16, 17 degrees below normal. Over here in the southeast, we're 20 degrees below normal. Now, 20 degrees below normal for us Floridians, y'all, that's a big deal. With the again the real temperature tomorrow morning at 33. And that's really frigid cold. 27-degree wind chill tomorrow morning. 27 degrees. All right, now I said this may not be the worst, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about by that. Let's watch. I'm gonna put up real temperature here. This is the real. All right, we're gonna get colder. Is a big dip in the jet stream gonna bring even colder air out of the Arctic? All right, here it comes. Boom! Look at that! Look at that plunge, y'all. Look at that. Look what it looks like at 10 o'clock. There's 7 a.m. on Saturday, the 31st. Now, cold? Yeah, it is. Sunday morning. There's Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Now let me go over here to the southeast for a second, and let's evaluate this. Okay. So Saturday night, Sunday morning. Okay. I'm gonna leave it right there at 1 o'clock at night. 1 o'clock Sunday morning. Now you can see the temperature. This is real temperature. This is surface temperature. So it's 33 degrees, 27 degrees across where Tallahassee is. 26, 27 in that area. Orlando, you're around 33 to 35 degrees or in Orlando area. It looks like about 35. So why am I stopping it right here at 1 o'clock on Sunday morning? And it's really all because of this maybe one model here. So the Canadian model, all right, and let me show you what I'm talking about here. Hold on. Get to winter. The Canadian model here at about 1 o'clock in the morning has snow moving across central Florida, as you can see right there. The Tampa Bay region gets maybe getting a tenth of maybe close to a half an inch of snow here in Tampa Bay region. And I'm looking at the timing of that, and it starts up about right after midnight is when it starts up. So I'm looking at what's the conditions here. Well, there's that snow moving in across from the Canadian model. And so then I'm looking at what's the temperature look like on these models. Here's the GFS model, okay? It's not showing any snow across here, but you can see if you draw an imaginary line right there, you can see where it comes down right here and moves across Florida here, and it picks up over here on the Atlantic side again. So it doesn't appear if I go back here now and I put up a simulated radar, okay, you can see there is moisture moving across Florida, and look right there on the GFS. You see that blue little speck right there? Yeah, the GFS model is putting down some snow, okay, across central Florida right there. You can see, I mean, zoom in there so you can see that. That is snow, y'all. It is showing up on the reflectivity modeling of the GFS. So it would not surprise me. Now, it's not going to be an abundance of it, okay? But it would not surprise me at all Saturday evening or the early morning hours of Sunday morning of getting a flake or two across Florida, y'all. That it would not surprise me one bit if we don't get a few snowflakes flying through Central Florida here. Now, again, I'm not trying to advocate that's going to happen, okay? But I'm just saying a few flakes. It's not going to be earth shattering where we're going to get a bunch of snow on the ground. It doesn't appear. It doesn't appear on the models like that. But the GFS model is giving us that hint right now, okay, as well. Now, I'm doing this later broadcast wide. Now, you see all the snow up here, right? You see all that snow up here. Now, I decided to do this broadcast. And look at the snow that's inching its way over toward the coastline of Florida here as well. This is what it looks like at 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. You see that snow. So, I chose to do this broadcast because the GFS model was updating. Now, let's look at the wintry precip here on this for snow. Is there any snow here showing up on the model here? There is none. There is none. Even though the composite reflectivity modeling picks up some right there in that area there on the reflectivity modeling, the GFS model is not putting down any snow. How about the ensembles? Are they giving us that? Now, why am I making a big deal out of this? Because, man, social media is going crazy, bonkers, nuts with this stuff.
Rich Beagle.
Oh, shoot, I have to call him back. Yeah, there's a lot of talk out there on social media about, this right here happening, y'all. And I put something out there last night, and I what did I say? I said, it's probably not going to happen, y'all. And that's the truth. That it probably won't happen. But either way, y'all, we might get a flake here. And that's all I'm going to say about it right now. Up here, there's going to be some more snow coming in. Looks like through the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, Kentucky up here. You go to the central region. And you know what? There could be a monster. And I do mean a monster of a nor'easter work its way up the eastern seaboard here. Now, look at all the snow here. It's coming in from this little low pressure system that's going to develop near the South Carolina coast right here. There is an area of low pressure. It's going to develop, and it's going to scooter up the eastern seaboard here. Boy, it's going to be detrimental as to exactly where it tracks. Okay? 30 inches of snow in the Baltimore, Maryland area. 30 inches, y'all. Crazy amount of snow is putting down. Now, if you look up over New York and say the Boston area, not a lot of snow there, is there, on the GFS model. How about the European model? What is it doing? It, too, is keeping its snow offshore, as you can see here. Much less snow even in the Baltimore, Maryland area. Washington, D.C., hardly any snow there. The Canadian model, what is it doing? Putting a lot more snow back here, isn't it? It is. And a lot more snow in that area. But look up there in the northeast. In New York area. And Boston. Not a lot of snow up there, is there? So the models are differing just a little bit here. This Canadian model is not completely updated here either yet. Go the hell on out. Still not putting a lot of snow there. Snow, but not crazy amounts there in New York and up in the Boston area. Could be some. Y'all, these models they're a little bit too far out yet to have a lot of confidence in them. But it does give us a general idea. Now, I'm going to show you the National Blend of models. What's the National Blend of models giving us right now? Look how much snow it's putting down, the National Blend of models. Now, what's the National Blend of models? The National Blend of models, what it does, it takes the average of what takes the models and spits out an average of what all those models are giving us. That's the reason why it's called the National Blend of models. It kind of gives us a blend of all the models kind of all put together out there. Look down here in Florida. See that snow out in the Gulf that crosses over here and gets then over in the Atlantic side? You can almost draw an imaginary line there, can't you? That's why I'm saying, y'all, don't be surprised we don't get some snowflakes across Central Florida here, including Tampa Bay, including Orlando. Could be a little bit of snow on the ground there in the Jacksonville area. showing 2/10 of, yeah, almost a quarter of an inch. It looks like 2/10 of an inch. Possible? Yeah, it's kind of hinting at it, right? Okay. Now what I'm gonna show you now is go back to the European model here, and what I want to give you guys is how I want to show you the temperature forecast here, because guys, this is devastating stuff. Because there's not a break here in sight here on these on the temperature. We stay below normal almost for the duration of this European model. Now watch this. I'm gonna put up anomaly here. Okay. Do we stay in that purple and green area for almost the entire duration? I mean, look at January 31st. Now, what's happening here? That's when that possibility of snow happens here across Florida, right? I mean, you're looking at 43 degrees below normal here. 43 degrees below normal. Man, pray for people across Mississippi right there in the Tennessee. Y'all, they're suffering. These people are suffering right now. And it's not going to improve. I mean, this is what it looks like at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning right there, y'all. It's just brutal. And it doesn't improve. Look at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Look at Florida. We are 22, 24 degrees below normal. Now, what's the real temperature look like? It's 38 degrees at 7 p.m. Look up here in Indiana. 6 degrees at 7 p.m. on Saturday. And just look at these temperatures. Guys, there's a little bit of warmth right there, maybe on Tuesday some. It might get to 32 degrees. No, look at Indiana. Indiana has yet to see 32 degrees. Now, Southern Indiana right there on Thursday the 5th, it shows 30 degrees there, I see. Now I see 33 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning on Thursday morning. So on Thursday, February the 5th, is the first opportunity to get above freezing here in Indiana. Thursday, February the 5th, is the first opportunity of reaching above 32 degrees. These poor people are going to see below 32 degrees for the next 8 days. 8 days. Y'all, that's insanely crazy. And you look at Florida down here. Yeah, we get some cold days, but look what it looks like at 1 p.m. There's 7 p.m. 65 degrees. While the rest look at the rest of the country suffering. Go back to the central region. You guys in Texas, it's not too bad for 7 p.m. You're in the 50s. What was it like at 1 p.m.? You're still in the 50s and 60s. Hey, that's tolerable weather right there. Is it below normal? No, you're actually above normal there in some cases. Down here in the South Central region, South Texas, you're below normal by about 7, 8, 10 degrees. And look at the rest of the country up here, below normal. It's just not going to go away until around the 5th. Then what happens after that? Are we going to get another shot of cold air coming in? Does not appear right now in the central region right there. But how about over here in the east? Look at this. Look at the northeast. So there's a clipper comes down here and filters in and brings in some brutally cold air again. And then we get a warm front come through. And then what's going to be on the back side of it here? Is there cold air coming again? Looks like it. Now, when I see that over here, does that mean there's something of a low pressure system that's moving right there? Let's look at that. I don't see a low pressure system there. Interesting the fact it's a little pocket of cold air though. There is a low pressure system right there though. Is that going to work its way this direction in? Is that what's happening there? It looks like it might be. Right there though. Right there's an area low pressure right here. This is what I was looking for. Right there it is. Now what date is that? February the 9th. What is that going to be? That's a 994 millibar low pressure system, guys. 994. That's a deep area of low pressure. Now, how much cold is on the back side of this? Is it bringing cold air on the back side of it? It doesn't appear to be a lot, but there is. You can see it right there. So what's going to happen here? Well, we're 14, 15 degrees above normal with that area low pressure. Is this going to be a severe weather event? We're on the European model, okay? Let's see, is there any lightning in this area? There is. There is some lightning right there. So around February 9th, 10th time frame, we might be looking at a severe weather event. When you have a 994 millibar area low pressure right there, and you have above normal temperatures here, okay, that is giving us a chance of some severe weather in this area. Again, that's around February the 9th. So really, this is really the next big event here. Besides all this cold air in place, I don't see a major snowstorm coming, okay? So the next major event is going to be around February 9th, and that's a possibility of some severe weather, it looks like. Severe weather. Daytona coming up next. Yeah, Daytona 500 will be coming up next. That's in February. I say, what day in February is that on? I should know that. Isn't it about the middle of February, though? I think it is. I think it's the second or third week in February. It's too far out to have any confidence on any kind of thing of that. But one thing I'm going to tell you, though, many people from Boston area are going to be flying into Tampa for this coming Sunday event. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about our outdoor NHL hockey game that's going to be played at Raymond James Stadium, where the Bucks play football. They're setting up a hockey rink inside that football stadium, and it's the National Hockey League's Outdoor Series event, and we're holding it here in Tampa at 6 p.m. this coming Sunday. For those of you that are coming, okay, I'm going to show you the temperature forecast, and I would advise you, y'all, to bundle up, okay? You better bundle up, because it is going to be, I mean, for a hockey game, these hockey players are going to love it. It's going to be downright cold. But for us, it is cold. Now, here's the temperature forecast at, let me go back there and find it for you. Let me go to 6 p.m. Go 7 p.m. There's your temperature forecast. 39 degrees. 39 degrees at 7 p.m. Puck drops around 6:15, 6:30, somewhere in that timeline. So it's going to be around 39 degrees. At 1 o'clock in the morning, it's 33. So it's not a big difference between 39 and 33 in that time frame there. But the temperature is dropping, as you can tell. The wind chill. Now, bear in mind, we're in a football stadium, an open-air football stadium, right? The wind chill at 7 p.m. is 35. So you're looking at about a 35-degree wind chill during this hockey game. Y'all, that's cold. That is really cold. Yep, we got Gasparilla too, James. I forgot about that. So Gasparilla is also on Saturday. Let me show you that Saturday forecast for y'all in Tampa here. I mean, look at the temperature forecast on Sunday morning. 22-degree wind chill. With a real temperature here of 28. Hard freeze. You planters. You farmers here. This is a hard freeze. Plant City area. Man, protect those strawberries. Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do to protect those strawberries. Got to be protected. This is a very, very, very hard freeze here coming up here. Very hard freeze. That hard freeze is all the way down south. Look how far south the temperature forecast is at 7 o'clock in the morning here in Florida. Let me go to the state of Florida here. This is kind of crazy. Look at the 32-degree temperature all the way to South Florida. Now let that sink in. 32 degrees all the way to South Florida. Unbelievable. Iguanas falling out of the tree. Hell, there's those iguanas be falling out of the tree so fast it's crazy. Now let me go to, okay, Saturday. Okay, let me show you Saturday. Okay, that's what the temperature looks like at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Why am I showing? And here is 10 o'clock in the morning, 47 degrees, real temperature, with a wind chill of 41. Now, why am I showing at 10 o'clock in the morning? Because that's when everybody's going to be arriving there for Gasparilla. And the parade gets going really big about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Y'all, it's 39 degrees wind chill. Now, we want everybody to come. But, man, if you come, you better bring your winter stuff with you, because I'm telling you right now, where I work at Nordstrom, we have some sweaters. We have hardly any coats. We have no gloves. We have no toboggans, stocking hats. So you better bring your winter gear, or you better be finding it right now on Amazon, wherever you can buy them at. Maybe the Nordstrom website might have some available. I don't know. I've really not looked at that. But I'm telling y'all, if you're coming to Gasparilla, you better bring your stuff with you, because it is difficult to find any cold weather gear that's left here in Florida. There's not much left, y'all. So bring it with you. If you come in looking for it, you're not going to find it. If you want a sweater, we got sweaters. Really cold winter jackets. We got lightweight jackets, not much cold. So maybe you can put a hoodie on underneath of a jacket, a lightweight jacket, and you might be okay. Okay? But otherwise, y'all, there's hardly nothing left out there at all. There really is not. So bring your stuff in with you if you're going to Gasparilla, because it is going to be cold. And you better bring, you guys in Boston, you think you're tough? Well, that hockey game might check your toughness, okay? All right? Because with the dew points being higher, it is a colder air here, even what it is in Boston. Even though you're surrounded with water up there, I promise you, our dew points run higher here than what it runs up in Boston most of the time with the cold. So it's a different cold air. It just truly is. So bundle up both of those events, because it's going to be cold. All right, y'all, I don't see anything crazy out there from these models right now. The GFS model just updated, and I don't foresee right now. There is a difference between the GFS model and the European model. That cold air doesn't really arrive. There's 2 p.m. It shows 55 degrees here in Tampa. That's not going to be bad. So there is a difference between the GFS model and the European model. But boy, look at that temperature plummet. Man, oh, are you got to be kidding me? At 10 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, it's a 22-degree wind chill here in Tampa on Sunday morning. All right, what does this show here for our event outside on Sunday? There's 7 p.m., 31 degrees wind chill. It goes to 30 at 10 p.m. So it's going to be around 30-degree wind chill during that hockey game. James says Nordstrom website does have coats, gloves, and stocking caps. If you need any of that stuff, let me know. I'll get it for you then, guys. I can get it for you. As long as it can be expedited. We got to make sure we expedite it for you to get it here. And I can help you with that. All right, guys. Have a great day. God bless you all. And bundle up. It's going to be cold. I mean, look at Florida here. I'm just going to go forward here. Look at the temperatures here. We get to 67 degrees. Do we ever reach 70? Finally, what's that date? February the 5th. February 5th, we finally reached 70 degrees. February 5th. It's 8 days from now. 8 days from now, we reach 70. Bring back to 70, please. Bring back to 70, please. All right, y'all. Have a great day, and may God bless you all.